They didn't announce it, they filed it. Quietly, legally, in a government database almost nobody reads. It took Time magazine 10 months to catch up to what independent journalists already had on the record. I'm Jessica. This is the Mitri Expose, and it's time that we talk about the Eighth Front War. Not bombs, not tanks, a war on your feed, a war on your algorithm, a war on your mind. Brad Parscale ran Donald Trump's 2020 campaign. In September 2025, his firm, Clock Tower X, signed a deal. Not with a super PAC, not with a campaign, with the government of Israel. The contract called for 100 pieces of content every single month. 80% of it aimed straight at Gen Z, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, podcasts. And it named exactly where that content would land: Salem Media Network, a Christian conservative broadcasting, Parscale's own employer. $15 million moved through Havas Media Network to Clock Tower X. 13 million of it went back out into a web of Republican digital firms. Israel didn't fund one operator. They quadrupled their entire public diplomacy budget in a single year. $150 million to $730 million. This wasn't persuasion. This was infrastructure. Now, here's the part I need you to sit with. Before this filing made headlines, before Time wrote a word of it, some of us already saw it. Not because we had inside sources, because we have discernment. When 5 different accounts post the same line in the same hour using phrases regular people don't use in regular conversations, that's not organic. That's a tell. I know many of you have seen it, especially recently with the Charlie Kirk and the overwhelming evidence. When someone is celebrating a ceasefire deal in the morning and calling it a betrayal by dinner, that's not a change of heart. That's a change of talking points. We noticed who went quiet when they should have spoken up. We noticed who suddenly had the exact same angle as the other 5 accounts overnight. We noticed the timing. It's kind of hard not to. So, we have been talking about this Mockingbird lookalike online for months now, and we were called conspiracy theorists for it.
Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about trouble and trend of irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 And Time's own reporting backs it up now. Their sources describe conservative influencers getting suggested language through private group chats, synchronizing when they posted, getting paid based on how many people saw it. One of them, Ayal Jacobi, confirmed it himself. He said he was paid to push back on anti-Semitism online. He called the pattern before it had a name. Now it has a name. It's a FARA-registered $15 million operation. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's discernment, and now it's got a paper trail. Independent journalists were already pulling that paper trail. Responsible Statecraft flagged this filing back in September of last year. The Intercept mapped the money in May. Reporters at the Daily Caller were digging through the filing in June, a full month before Time touched it. And personally, I've seen many creators talking about this. I would like to specifically talk about Dankster Intel. If you are not already subscribed to his channel, I highly recommend that you do. Danks is actually a huge part of my inspiration as to me finding my voice and finally coming on here and using it for good. Danks created a website so you could read in plain English and understand exactly what these FARA documents were. He did this months ago. I watched every episode of his as it unfolded. And boy, did it hit something in my soul that I just couldn't sit quiet about. There was others talking about it, like Candace Owens and Baron Coleman, people I respect. And they really thought that people just weren't going to notice. It's like Mockingbird and the alt media space. You don't get to call people foreign assets in one breath and then deny running a foreign influence operation in the next. It's the filing, or it's in the filing, under oath with the Department of Justice. They didn't stop at people either. Parscale's own plan states the goal was to shape what AI chatbots say, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, by name, when people asked questions about Israel. No one was safe. Sit with that for a second. A foreign government paying an American political operative to shape the answers the machines give your kids when they go looking for the truth. Or you, when you go looking for the truth. That's not a talking point. That's the whole game laid out in writing. I'm not telling you this to make you hate anybody. I'm telling you because the paper trail is public, and you deserve to read it for yourself. Left, right, doesn't matter. Nobody elected a foreign influence campaign to run through our feeds, and nobody elected it to run through our AI either. I just want to mention, just imagine if our militaries were already merged. It was very telling on X who was a paid shill and who was fighting for the truth, because the paid shills were all in sync together. Not only were they using the same exact words, at least one identical word per tweet, they were doing it timed out. Boom, 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 boom. Remember the ballroom incident? Yeah, Trump needs a ballroom. Trump needs a ballroom. Everyone at the same time. Boom, 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 boom. As if they really think we're dumb, guys. All right? And the sad part is that some people just aren't awake enough yet. And they fell for it because this kind of approach worked in the past. But Israel, it's time to go back to the drawing board. It really is. Americans are waking up faster than you could ever have prepared for. And many of us who have been awake for a little bit now are joining the online space. We are joining the fight in your eighth front war. And guess what? Americans, oh man, we are proud, gun-toting. Let me keep this clean. We are proud. And we were born and raised knowing what our constitutional rights were, including our Declaration of Independence. What would happen if the current government was no longer at your beck and call Israel. Yeah. Well, enjoy it while it lasts. But I want to let you know that you're fucking with the wrong country. We are the generations that have come to change this world. Good will defeat evil. Peace will defeat fear. That's all I got on this one for now. If you would like to go check it out for yourself, I highly recommend Dank's website, which is americansfortransparency.org. There is a lot on there, not just the FARA filings either. So if you're curious and what the real truth about a few topics, like maybe Charlie Kirk and this one here, I highly recommend subscribing to Dankster Intel on YouTube and Instagram, and go to americansfortransparency.org and look at it for yourself. I love you. Stay safe and question everything.